Java, a record high was set in Syracuse this week. We'll tell you if those warm temperatures are here to stay or if you should be preparing for the snow.
And Sarah Perkes is in studio to prepare you for tomorrow's Oscars.
All of that and more coming up. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeff Slawson.
And I'm Kayla Spector. Thanks for starting your morning with us.
Let's kick things off with the squeeze for this week's top stories. This week we felt a nice summer breeze here in central New York, but it's only February. On Thursday, the temperatures reached 69 degrees, tying the previous February record from 1981. Then, on Friday, a beautiful 71-degree day broke the record. Keep in mind that only 2 years ago, the high for February was 23rd was 13 degrees with a low of 6. Don't get too used to the warmth just yet, because next week it might be snowing with temperatures expected to dip back into the 30s. Now, I know that I've been enjoying this weather a lot. How about you?
Yes, it's been really nice and really weird. I feel like we're in April already and school's almost over, but it's not at all. We still have so much time of the semester left, but it's really nice. You get to go outside. You're not stuck indoors all the time, not bundled up.
I don't think any of my attire was prepared for this. I still have my skis in my car that I just keep there if I want to go. And
yeah, well, like last weekend I was wearing my snow boots out and my winter jacket and everything, and I had to take it all off.
It is weird how we're seeing like all of this stuff between last week it was really warm, they got cold again. This week it was really great, and then it's going to get cold again for a while. I feel like all of our body temperatures are going to be messed up too.
I know, it's crazy. I saw that early tomorrow morning there's a chance of snow now. So it's like 65 degrees outside right now, but tomorrow morning we may see a little snow, which is a little bizarre.
It's just bipolar weather at this point.
It's a little hard to deal with, but it's been nice. And the Trump administration had another busy week On Wednesday, President Donald Trump revoked the rules put in place by Barack Obama that allowed transgender students to use the bathrooms of their choice. He overruled his new education secretary, Betsy DeVos, who said she felt uncomfortable signing off on the initiative because of the potential harm it could cause. In addition, Trump's administration took aim at widely credible news outlets, which he deems fake news. CNN, The New York Times, The Washington Post, and Politico are all prohibited from attending Sean Spicer's press briefings. The White House has not explained its reasoning for attacking the media outlets in this manner. So the whole bathroom issue was huge for a while. I remember, I think it was last year, it was always talked about, and now it's just going to come up again. It's going to be
right.
huge.
It does seem like it's, I mean, obviously this was going to happen. Something was monumental was going to happen in reference to this, and you know, in addition to that, with the whole fake news thing, we've talked about this before.
Yes, of course.
It's ridiculous.
I know, they just think everything is fake news now.
Right, exactly. And sticking with politics, the Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, hosted a variety of storylines this week. Speakers at the conference included Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Betsy DeVos, Steve Bannon, Ted Cruz, and many more conservative representatives. White nationalist Richard Spencer was forced to leave the conference after purchasing a general admissions pass. CPAC spokesperson Ian Walters said that his views are repugnant and have absolutely nothing to do with conservatism. CPAC said that they want to send a message that they have nothing to do with the alt-right. I have to agree with that. I feel like at this point in history and this point in politics, we're seeing a time where Republicans are looked down upon in a very strong way.
Yeah, and it's only really because of who was elected into office, and it's not really fair to the rest of the Republicans out there because everyone still has different views, everyone still has their own opinions.
Right, I feel like it's one of the most interesting times where people just aren't respecting that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, and I don't know, I mean, there's the whole idea that people are different, they have different political views, but not all Republicans are going to be these insane individuals, you know? There's going to be those more modern people that voted for Ronald Reagan or George Bush.
It's the same with any party, like even with the Democrats and Hillary Clinton when she was running, like you still have Democrats who don't agree with all of her views, but they're in the Democratic Party. So it's the same thing for both sides. And hundreds of people are currently protesting a police officer's home in Los Angeles. On Wednesday, a video surfaced of an off-duty police officer firing a gun during a fight with a 13-year-old. Allegedly, the police officer fired the gun after the 13-year-old and his friends walked on his lawn. The teenager was not hit by the gunfire, but his grandmother says he has a lot of bruises. 24 protesters were arrested on on the police officer's lawn after reports of vandalism. Anaheim Mayor Tom Tate says that the town is committed to a full and impartial investigation. So this whole thing was caught on camera, so it's automatically going to become a bigger deal than it probably would have if it weren't.
Absolutely, and it makes you think, imagine if something like this was not caught on camera, right? It's a he said type scenario, so we do have it on camera. You don't see all of what occurred, obviously, but it makes you think, the introduction of these cameras with situations like this, do you think that this could either cause more harm than good in some scenarios?
Well, I think how they have been introducing body cams on police officers, I think is super helpful. I think we actually see what goes on because, police officers are always just in the middle of everything, so maybe they might get a few things wrong, but this helps you really determine what actually happened.
Right, and it's a whole idea of split decisions that are made when it comes to being in the line. And once again, there's another wave of bomb threats targeting Jewish community centers. On Monday, a Southern California community center received threats, making it the fourth wave of threats in the past 2 months. President Trump has been criticized for his lack of response, and when questioned by a reporter about what the government's reactions to these threats were going to be, Trump responded by calling the question insulting, with no response given. There have been 69 threats at 54 Jewish community centers in nearly 30 states. We've had two here.
Yeah.
I covered one the other week.
It's ridiculous. I'm from New Jersey, and my mom works out at a JCC in our town, and she called me one day and said that there was a bomb threat at the JCC in my town and they all had to evacuate. So it does get kind of personal. A lot of people that go to these places, and it really wasn't covered or talked about by the president, which is concerning. It took him a long time to really say anything about it.
It took us to have a bit of digging the other week when I was out there covering the bomb threat at the JCC here that was in DeWitt to really find out about all these that were happening, and now media's starting to pick it up, which is good, but it's still unbelievable.
But it took too long to pick it up, which is crazy. And a former USA gymnastics doctor has been charged with sexual assault. Dr. Larry Nassar is charged for sexually assaulting 9 girls and is being sued by dozens of others. One of the girls suing him is 2000 U.S. Olympian Jamie Dancher, who described these alleged assaults on 60 Minutes. Nassar was a doctor for Indianapolis-based USA Gymnastics and the national gymnastics team until the summer of 2015. Michigan State fired him last September after he violated restrictions in 2014 following a complaint that was filed against him. So this is just terrible. I mean, you see stories like this too often in the news, in sports, in a lot of things, of these things that are being hidden from everyone.
What is going on with the Olympics? I mean, I feel like every team USA has some sort of scandal. There's
always something going on.
Exactly. I feel like they need to just clean up their act. You're having this guy in there who's working out these athletes, and it turns out that he's just this terrible, terrible human being.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, and all of these things are always seem to be hidden in the news, from everyone else, and
it's like a lack of transparency.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It's like they want some drama.
Right. I'd love for a Team USA to be an issue-free Team USA, so we could all look up to them.
It'd be nice.
Maybe
at the next Olympics.
It's taxing at this point. And coming up after the break, Joanna Orland is in studio to tell us about her publication, highchairmag.com.
And we'll update you on all things Oscars. Stay with us.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it,
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got, or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I'm here with Joanna Orland, an SU student who is taking creativity to a whole new level with her new magazine, High Chair Mag. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's a little early.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about High Chair.
Okay, so basically I came up with the idea when I was looking on my Facebook newsfeed, and I saw that there were all these articles getting jumbled together. It was hard to understand like what was worth clicking on and what wasn't. And I felt that people have so many great ideas. I have a bunch of personal essays just sitting on my laptop with nothing to do with them. And I thought if I'm having this problem, other people must too. So I decided to start my own publication to give people that creative outlet.
So you really wanted people the opportunity to give people the opportunity to speak their minds, but in a really nice format, right?
Yes, and just so that everything's all together. It can be in any format. It can be from any college campus. I just wanted to give like total creative and curious freedom to anyone who wanted.
So how do you decide content? How do you decide which ones get picked and which ones don't get picked?
Well, we look at our submissions. We have a team of 9, and together we all sit down, read it, and we think, is this smart, is it interesting, and is it different? And that's how we decide.
Smart, interesting, and different. I think that's a very good thing. So what are some of the favorite ones that you've seen since you started doing this?
What's been the most eye-opening to me is seeing my friends who I didn't think would sit down and write an essay or think hard about something that seemed mundane at the time and come up with these like really beautiful lessons on life. My friend wrote about how human attention span, she learned in a lecture that human attention span is actually shorter than that of a goldfish now. A human's is now 8 seconds, a goldfish's is 9. And she wrote about how we all need to take time to just like focus and be better people. And I think that like reading that to me was just amazing to see.
So you've learned yourself from this.
100%. Every time someone submits something, I'm like, wow, these are going on in people's heads. I'm so glad they're getting it on paper and other people can read it.
So you felt like there was a need for this, obviously, right? So since you started this, have you felt like you're giving a nice outlet and you feel like that it's actually working and giving these ideas some exposure?
Yeah, so we're always looking to expand our reach. However, I think that the people that we have reached have really taken on to us, and we have a lot of repeat submitters. We have a lot of people who are like high chair groupies, and we have laptop stickers, people put them on. So
Laptop stickers? You guys are becoming so legit. That's awesome. Yeah. So tell me a bit about this whole, you said for the future you're trying to expand, right? So yeah. What's going to be that process, I guess?
So we're kind of working to pinpoint campuses that we think we could be really beneficial on. We've reached out to a lot of campus publications here and to other schools, just being like, we exist. If something might not be right for you, it might be right for us. If we have something that might not be right for us, it might be right for you. We're planning to implement a campus rep program to get students to be like high chair representatives on their campuses.
So is it most of the people that are writing for high chair, I'm guessing it's not journalists. Is it just, it's just everyone?
Anyone can do it. We were started by a bunch of Newhouse students, but we've noticed that it's a lot of like, my friend is writing one right now. She's a pre-med and she's writing about a science survey that just came out that she really enjoyed. So final question for you. What is something that we should be looking for? Can you give us a little tidbit of one that might be coming out soon that's got some interest in it? So we have our monthly question, which we hope that every answer in an issue or every response for an issue will be a response to the question that we asked. So we're hoping to ask some hard-hitting ones next time. That's all. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. That's incredible. It seems like a really great outlet for people. And now we're going to toss it back over to Kayla. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. When we come back, Juice and Java correspondent Nick Dugan is here to talk about all things SU basketball. And after our crazy win against Duke this week, you won't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
So Jeff, what were you doing on Wednesday?
You know, woke up, had class, I waited outside of the dome, and oh yeah, we beat Duke.
I know. I don't even have season tickets this year, and I actually finally got a ticket to the game, and I was actually there for this one. I'm so thankful I actually went.
Basketball game ever. And with that, we have to bring on our man, Nick Dugan. Dugan, tell us a little bit about this game. How did it happen? How did we pull off this upset?
Well, so you would think this may be a pretty unexpected win, considering the court storming. However, this is the third time this season that Syracuse fans have stormed the court, so maybe not the best indicator. But this was a very unexpected win against Duke. Duke winners of 7 of their last 7 games. So they came in beating number 20 Notre Dame, number 14 UVA, coming in very hot. 4 players on that team averaging double digits, but the Orange able to pull this one out, a huge victory for them in the Carrier Dome.
So how did this happen? How did we manage to win?
So Duke was pretty impatient early. They were shooting just 37% from the floor. They usually shoot 48% on the season, and it really came down to that big second half performance from Syracuse. John Gillen, 19 points in the second half. Tyus Battle, 14 points in that second half. They shot 71% from the field, scoring over 50 points. And at some point, when you score more points than the other team, you're going to be able to come away with that victory. So the Orange able to get it done on Wednesday.
Yeah, I've heard that's often the case. As long as you score more points, you're going to find a way to
That's
win.
right.
It was interesting watching the game, though. I mean, we felt like Duke just wasn't pulling it off, and they really weren't, hitting their shots, and we were just managing to eke it out a little bit. So we have Louisville tomorrow. What are our chances to beat Louisville, and what will that do for the tournament hopes?
So ESPN's giving Syracuse a 10% chance to win tomorrow.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance, Jeff, but it's probably about accurate. 10% seems about right. Syracuse has not been good on the road this season, just 2-7, and they'll have to shoot the three-point shot well. They were unable to do so last time these two teams played. Louisville also very big inside, blocking a lot of shots in there. Their shot selection also on February the 13th has to be better than it was then. Took some tough shots down the stretch that could have given them a lead or a victory in that game, perhaps. So we'll have to wait and see. But 10%, it seems about right.
And what do you think our chances of going to the tournament are now?
Well, with that win over Duke, that gives Syracuse 3 top 10 victories on the season. They're slated right now to be a 10 seed in the tournament, playing Minnesota, and it seems likely that could be the case, although they should probably win. I think that they need to win at least one more game here. If they lose all 3, they'll go sub 500 in the ACC, and that could be tough with the selection committee looking at a sub 500 ACC team.
So everything goes right. We win the games that we need to win. How far can we go in the tournament if we make the tournament?
Oh, if we make the tournament, maybe a first-round upset over Minnesota, but right now the projection has us slated at playing number 2 Baylor. That looks like that could be a tough task. I don't think the Orange will be able to get it done in the second round if that's the case.
That would cause some troubles for us, I guess. Nick Dugan, great to have you.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. And when we come back, we'll tell you about a cultural festival you have to check out this weekend.
And our Oskies preview with Sarah Perkes are coming up.
See you after the break.
Giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
And welcome back. The Caribbean Cinematic Festival is back at the Community Folk Arts Center for its 5th year.
That's right, Jeff. The festival has a new theme every year, and this year, CitrusTV's own Gabriella Knudsen joined in a celebration of Caribbean music and films.
The 5th annual Caribbean Cinematic Festival began on Thursday. It is striving to educate the Syracuse community about the Western and Eastern Caribbean. The 4-day festival at the Community Folk Arts Center will feature 6 to 8 movies and short films over the weekend. The operations specialist at the center tells us about the film theme, Love and Music.
What it is just trying to educate the community about the Western and Eastern Caribbean through films that feature about the history of different types of music, for like instance ska and then also Cuban music as well.
The festival is highlighting polarizing issues from the Caribbean and the Caribbean diaspora. They're highlighting these issues through dance, film, and food.
The festival's films on Friday focused on the Jamaican music genre ska. The host speaker to the film says he believes it captures the importance of Caribbean music genres.
Ska is a hugely important music genre from the Caribbean. So forgive me if I relate all of this to music, but one of the most important cultural exports from the Caribbean are the various music genres.
Overall, the Caribbean Cinematic Festival has been greeted with open minds and community support.
I think it's an amazing opportunity for people in the Syracuse area to come and learn about Caribbean heritage in addition to African youth sport culture in general.
Gabriella Knudsen, CitrusTV.
The festival goes on through Sunday. For more information, you can visit the Community Folk Arts Center's website.
And coming up, Sarah Perkes is here to get us ready for the Oscars.
Which movies and actors could take home the highest awards? Find out when we come back.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Tomorrow night, Hollywood stars will gather together for one of the biggest nights of the year, the Oscars.
Jimmy Kimmel will host tomorrow's ceremony at the Chinese Theater in California. Who will the big winners be? Juice and Java correspondent Sarah Perkes is here to give us her predictions.
Yes, the Oscars are here. Voting has ended this past Tuesday. Now we're going to do a quick run through of what movies are predicted to win this year. To start off, Best Picture will be La La Land. It was beautiful, colorful, vibrant, entertaining, and the list goes on. This is a prediction I agree with strongly, and the Best Director will be Damien Chazelle for La La Land as well. I honestly think a second Oscar for this film would be well deserved. For Best Actress, Isabelle Huppert for her performance in Elle is on the table. I'm honestly not sure who I think will win this category. I really love Natalie Portman, and her performance in Jackie was incredible. I'm a huge fan of hers. Her previous work in Black Swan was when I first really recognized her for how incredibly talented she is. Best Actor this year is predicted to be Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea. Now, I can talk about this movie and his performance for hours. Quite frankly, I think he may be a better actor than his brother Ben. But Manchester by the Sea is a phenomenal movie, and I recommend that everyone should go see it. Best Supporting Actress will hopefully be Viola Davis for Fences. She was awesome, and she always takes on challenging roles. For Best Supporting Actor, I think Mahershala Ali in Moonlight will win. He did really good, but I also think that Jeff Bridges in Hell or High Water might deserve the W on this one. Best Screenplay might be La La Land again. However, the movie The Lobster, which I have yet to see, is about a person who has 45 days to find a new partner. Otherwise, this person will turn into an animal. I don't know, if you ask me, that sounds pretty original. For Best Adapted Screenplay, Fences is a good contender. August Wilson has already won a Pulitzer for the movie, though I think my heart lies with Arrival on this one. Best Documentary Feature should be, and hopefully will be, OJ Made in America, excuse me. It's received a lot of positive press this past few months. For Best Foreign Language Film, the movie Tony Erdmann is predicted to win. If you like absolutely hilarious films where you almost pee yourself, then this might be a watch for you. Best Animated Feature Film will hopefully be Zootopia. This film made $1 billion in box office globally. Not to mention, the characters are super cute. Best Original Score is predicted to go to La La Land again. What a shocker. As a musical, I say it makes a pretty good guess. Well, that's all the time I have right now for an Oscar rundown. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sarah. The Oscars. I love the Oscars.
I love the Oscars.
I think it's such a
I love
great,
movies.
Yeah. Well,
so.
Exactly, yeah. So what are you thinking? You think La La Land's going to take it?
I think it is. I think it's going to win a ton of awards. It deserves it. It's a great film. Did you see it?
I did. Oh, I loved it.
See, I didn't see everything that's been nominated, but I've seen some of them. Like Arrival also definitely deserves to win something. It was an incredibly done movie.
I heard Amy Adams was fantastic in that as well.
Amazing.
Really?
Yeah, she did a great job.
I love sci-fi movies, so I feel like I have to check that out.
Yes, I love sci-fi. It was really cool.
What we were talking about before, too, is this is like a weird movie season because we feel like it's a movie season of where people don't totally understand the movies. you know?
I mean, it did take me a little while for Arrival to understand what was going on. I needed a little explanation at the end of the movie to really understand what happened, but once you grasp the idea, like your mind is just blown.
Well, that's a good thing that you can actually eventually grasp it, because we were talking about how with La La Land there's also the aspect where people go into it and they're thinking that it's going to be just a straight-on movie, and then it's a musical.
Or some people thought it was going to be a real musical, like you see like Hairspray or Grease Live, like a real musical, and it really wasn't anything like that. It was still very much so a movie.
I'm hoping La La Land can take the
yes.
take home all the gold they can, and that's all we have for Juice and Java this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Check us out online at CitrusTV.com and follow Citrus TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
For all of us here, I'm Jeff Slawson.
And I'm Kayla Spector. Have a great weekend, Syracuse.